Hello there and welcome to Shuttlebay 4. We watched The City on the Edge of Forever, which often tops lists of the best original series episodes. So, naturally, Steve didn't like it.
We've just been to Ohm's Burgers.
Ohm's Burgers?
I saw your picture, I was quite jealous.
Oh, I've not seen
Yeah,
them.
rather good.
Like, I just had a falafel flatbread.
That sounds shit.
It's brilliant. It's really
No, that sounds shit, I'm sorry. A falafel flatbread, it's even stupid to say.
I love a falafel flatbread. Look, Steve's in bed. Look, I hope he's got the right video call.
No, it's not Samantha.
What are you wearing? No. No, she's got downstairs, so I've got no choice.
Yeah. I'm not listening to you on one of your stupid Star Trek calls. We've got no patches this week again. I don't know what's happened to patches.
He does work shifts, doesn't he, I think?
Yeah, that's true.
Same as Gibbo.
Yeah.
That's too many patchless weeks.
Too many patchless weeks. We should have a minute silence now just to go on.
You didn't die. Jesus.
You say that. We don't know.
I'm a giggling, yeah.
Yeah, we are giggling. That's not very respectful, is it? I reckon we should start then. I reckon we'll get everybody on. We should go.
Do it.
Whoa. Before we do that, here's a quick episode summary. Dr. McCoy accidentally overdoses on drugs and literally goes on a trip when he beams himself to another planet. Kirk and friends follow him down, see the Guardian of Forever who calls Spock stupid. They go back in time and Kirk falls in love with Edith Keeler. But in order to restore the timeline, Edith Keeler must die.
City on the Edge of Forever then. What do people think to that episode? Did anybody not like it actually? Before we go into it, did anybody not like the episode? I think that'd be an interesting place to start though.
All right, let's kick him off.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I didn't like the episode.
Are you a fan of TOS in general?
Yeah, absolutely. Those episodes, I think for me, it's more in general the ones where they travel back in time, and it's always to sort of.
Well, it's always America.
Time, isn't it? And it's always, and those sorts of. I watch Star Trek because it's set in the future, and then when they go back, it just irritates me.
Yeah.
Because to me, it seems like a lack of creativity. No, for me, it wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
That's fair. You're obviously wrong, but that's fair. Rachel, was this the first time you've watched it, Rachel?
probably. And I loved it. Well, unlike Steve, I love time travel episodes. So before I started watching it, I did not know what this was going to be about. So when I knew it was going to be a time travel thing, I was like, yes. And what I liked, especially in this one, was just back and forth between Kirk and Spock. You know, just Kirk being sarcastic and all that, and Spock with his reactions, and I just absolutely loved it. It was an original series. There was no temporal prime directive or anything, you know. So there was no talk of very strictness there.
I suppose the damage was done, though, wasn't it? That was kind of the point. The fact that
Yeah, but they wanted to go in the past, like before McCoy arrived, so they could avoid whatever he'd done. Yeah. But you know, they rented a little flat and they got a job and everything.
If Star Trek got cancelled at that stage, I think that would have been a great spin-off series. Just Kirk and Spock living in the flat, little sitcom.
It was so sad at the end when Kirk couldn't stop that lady from running under that bus or car, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was sad, but I think it was a really good episode. I loved it.
And there's a bit where Kirk's driving the Batmobile. He's not doing a very good job, and you just see McCoy pop up when he got that virus. So that's where that was from. So I was quite happy to see that. Something I found funny, when Kirk and Spock go through the Guardian, he looks around at the other people that he's left behind and he said, "We'll be back shortly." And it suddenly occurred to me, all of them are red shirts.
yeah, they are actually.
When Kirk stopped the woman from falling down the stairs and he's walking down the stairs, in my mind, I'm waiting for him to go, I'm singing. Because that's literally all that was needed.
Yeah.
And then the thing that really did get my goat up, and I'm going to play this for you, is the constant Roadrunner music in this episode. Right?
I didn't even notice that.
Well, we'll steal from the rich and give back to the poor later.
Yeah. And that is throughout the whole episode, that music.
Jaunty little music. Yeah. Go on, Dan.
No
You can go now.
I was just waiting for someone to say, no, you're not. Right. I've got bullet points rather than detailed notes. You're pleased to hear. Right.
Yeah,
All mine
yeah.
are pretty much in chronological order. So it starts, I like with when Sulu gets injured right at the beginning. When Sulu gets injured right at the beginning, what does Kirk do? He runs right over to him. And I thought that was nice. He's the captain. He's not hands off. It's not like, get someone down here. He's straight over to him, cradling in his arms. I'm like, oh, I wish I was Sulu. I wish I was being cradled in Captain Kirk's arms. But anyway, and then, McCoy, right? When he's in mad mode, he sneaks into the transporter room. And he does that crazy thing.
Double chop thing.
It karate chops him right to the kidney. And he knocks him out, which is just crazy.
Doesn't he then do a quick one to the neck, though? I thought he did a double thing.
Well, he kind of does that. And as he goes about, I'm not sure whether it was accidental or whatever. He does seem to just clip him again, like a. But he sneaks in there. The guy in the transport room doesn't notice him coming in, but the doors go.
Or the doors go. Yeah.
There's no way he could sneak in. Anyway. The next thing I've got, and I'm not going to mention this too much because I know it bores Brush, because I love looking at like the studio design and the production and everything. When they beam down to the planet, they've got those 4 harsh shadows. So you can tell it's all in the studio. You see that all the time in Star Trek, and it winds me up. The Guardian of Forever Stone, I think it looks really good. In conventions, you see it all the time, like models that people have got and get LED light up ones, and it's only when you see it on screen you're like, oh yeah, they do look just like.
Do you remember the one they had in Vegas, Chris?
Yes. Yeah,
That
I've
was
got a
awesome,
picture of it
that
somewhere.
was.
Yeah.
But I did like that. I thought it looked cool. I love Spock's reaction when the Guardian says to him that his knowledge of science is obviously primitive, because Spock goes, really? And he can tell he's going, fuck off.
Really?
Actually, the best reaction would have just been like, whatever. He just raises his eyebrows. I love seeing Uhura.
Annoyed Spock.
But
do the
Uhura's
finger
in
click.
Yeah.
Whatever
girlfriend. Yeah, whatever, Guardian. But Uhura is in the landing party. I was pleased to see that she wasn't just sat, with that thing in her ear.
She had her whole arse out, though, in that episode. Like, her whole knickers were showing in that episode. I didn't like that.
That's all right.
What have I got next? Oh, yeah. The bit where the policeman stops them and he's like, it's Chinese. Yeah, I don't think you get away with that these days. It's Chinese. Oh, I did mention this. That guy says, have you got a flop? Meaning a place to sleep. I've never heard that before. That was I thought it was a bit of a.
It's probably American, though, and for the time as well.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, if there's one thing Captain Kirk has not got, it's a flop.
A flop.
This episode, by the way, I think it's a really good episode, really strong episode. I think it's a great introductory episode, but I have got a couple of negative things, but I'm not negging on the episode big style. Edith's speech, she's like, oh, one day we'll even be able to fly to space in some sort of starship or whatever she says. And I thought, that's a bit too convenient, that's just a bit, and it is a bit bonkers. Spock's computer is just insane. He basically makes his computer from tin cans. There's no controls on it, and yet he can read future newspapers on it. He can see video footage from the future on it. And I thought, that's stretching belief a bit there. But those are the only negative things I've got. I like the concept of one person making one change in history having a ripple effect. I like that. It's quite a high concept. Kirk admitting to Spock that he's in love with Edith Keeler. I really that convinced me that. I thought that was really good, and I thought it was a really good Shatner moment. And it wasn't like Shatner where he's just snogging some alien somewhere. You really, really did feel that he had some emotional connection with this woman, and which makes the line. I think it's Spock. Yeah, it's Spock that says Edith Keeler must die.
Edith Keeler must die.
Yeah,
and
she says that twice, and I love
Jim, Edith Keeler must die.
It's a really chilling line, and I also like the fact that you can tell that Spock knows that this is going to destroy Kirk, and he doesn't want to tell him, but he's got to.
Yeah.
And I think that Leonard Nimoy does that really well, because he said in the past that Spock doesn't not have emotions is suppressing these emotions, and I think you can kind of see that in that scene. And the final thing I've got isn't a really comment from me. I've kind of nicked this, but do you know that Star Trek Vault, the Blu-ray you can get, where it's got a few episodes and a few documentaries on there? This is on that Blu-ray set, and when they're talking about this episode, they say about at the end when Captain Kirk says, "Let's get the hell out of here." They were saying that at the time that was a really ballsy line, especially in America. That was the equivalent of saying, "Let's get the fuck out of here," and that was really emphasising the fact that Kirk is not in the mood for hanging around and he wants to go. Hey, you look different. You're not green.
Yeah, where's your green gone?
It's Tendy.
Yeah. Not as green today. She's feeling all right today.
Hey, nice one. Brush can't do that even with one hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's used to my potty mouth. It's all right.
I can't do it either.
Sorry, bro.
Oh, great! Somebody else in the group, Chris. You're welcome. Everyone else can leave.
I can do that. I have to do that because my hand is. I can't
Yes.
seem to straighten it, so I have to have it ever so slightly forward.
But Emma, have you talked about this episode?
Not yet.
Go ahead, my darling.
So, now Jenna is here because she's going to confirm that I traumatised her last night by I interrogated her about this episode.
Did she make you watch it as homework?
Well, I made her watch it, and I was interrogating her as to who she found most attractive Spock.
Oh, right, okay.
Or
That's
Kirk.
fair.
And she
Who
said,
did she find?
and I said, you can't say neither. I said, you have to pick one. And she's just going, I don't want to pick one. I said, you have to pick one. And in the end, what did you say, Jenna?
I said Kirk.
Kirk, there you go.
Yeah, he was
basically
gorgeous.
made her
to
do
be
your
fair.
homework.
Yeah, and I tried to make her watch the episode, but she's really not engaged in Star Trek apart from Lower Decks, and it's a bit gutting. I don't think she's mine. I don't think any of them are my children. I think they were changed at birth. They are not Trekkies. They are a disappointment to me, aren't you?
Oh. Well, I'm sure you were a disappointment to her too, Emma.
I've got.
Felix mutual.
But anyway, I've been really good. I've been really good with my homework. Look, I've got notes.
You got loads of it. Brush, get ready.
Oh my God.
I have got a few things here that I don't think anybody's mentioned yet.
Come on then.
It was because I love this episode, so I've watched it, and I noticed something in the episode that I've never noticed before. I read on it online that apparently when they made the costumes, I don't know if it was because of cost restraints or whatever, the material that they used for the tops in TOS, they're made of some kind of velour. And they didn't realise that it shrunk when they washed it. And now, obviously, because City on the Edge of Forever is towards the end of season 1, I'm sitting there watching it yesterday thinking they're getting like almost crop tops, those uniforms.
That's why Ahura's ass was out, probably.
And because I'd read about it, I couldn't help but just be drawn to how short the tops were on the uniforms. So there's that I noticed. I love time travel episodes. I love anything that's to do with time travel.
Steve.
Back to the Future, yeah, the Terminator, anything like that, the butterfly effect and all those.
Oh, yeah, that's
I love
brilliant.
it. And I will kind of overlook the fact that they always travel to modern time America. I understand it's probably due to budget and set situations and
because travelling further back would cost a lot more money.
I love the romance between
Spock and Kirk.
Oh yeah, the bromance. That's lovely. No, I think it's quite a tragic story, and I do love it. I can't keep talking like this with this guy in the background.
To be fair though, Kirk falls in love with someone practically every flipping episode.
Yeah, no, I disagree with you there because Kirk has sex with them, but I don't think he falls in love.
He does. So, but I like the fact that in this one he had a bit of a Vulcan moment in that he allowed for the needs of the many to outweigh the needs of himself, basically, and it must be hard to do. I said to Adam, I said, if you knew that by letting me die it was going to save all the future of humanity, and I said, would you? And without hesitation he says yes. That was not the answer I was expecting.
He says, let's not take a chance, let's just do it now.
Yeah. that wasn't the answer I was looking for, really, but that was the answer I got. But no, I do generally think that in that situation, it would be a really, really difficult thing to do. Not putting yourself first and putting everybody else first. So yeah, I'm quite in admiration of Kirk for that. And I love the fact that at the end, Kirk comes through, they all come back through, and he's like, oh, let's get the hell out of here, which is not something that would...
That was a bit controversial at the time, even just for using the word hell, yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, but I think Gene Roddenberry fought to keep that in. He said
did, yeah.
it's more than appropriate because, you know, he would feel that way. It was a traumatic...
Yeah, because he was so devastated. Even William Shatner fought for that as well. He went in with Gene Roddenberry to say, you've got to keep this in, because the studio did want to cut that out.
Yeah, and it was the right call, and I'm quite surprised Gene Roddenberry...
Well, also, the way he says it is not typical Kirk. The way he says that line, you can tell he's so dejected and down, and, you know, usually he's very exuberant, and he just says it very nonchalant, and then they beam up, and then the episode ends, and it's like, oh, that's quite an eerie end as well, yeah. Like, I just think this episode is one of the best episodes. It stands out for its writing and acting. I think the actors even do such a really good job in this. Kirk and Spock, especially, really, really good. John Collins is really good in this. The only thing I really want to say that hasn't been covered, and you did type it in, Penfold, which I hate you for, thanks, is how vulnerable Kirk is. Like, we don't see Kirk vulnerable like this ever. So it might be the first time we've ever seen it. I think we see it again, you know, when his son dies, in Rothgate, stuff like that. But you do see him with women, and you do see him being all over women, but you don't necessarily see him fall in love like he did in this episode. And I think you can totally see, because like you mentioned, Dan, Spock realizes he's fallen in love and is also taking a step back while he's also trying to tell him, well, he's still got to kill her, you know. Edith Keeler must die. I'm going to say it twice for you, Carl.
Can I just ask you a question, Brush? Do you know at the end of the episode, if Edith Keeler, if she'd not been hit by that car, it would have been a really different ending if Kirk had had to like smash her skull in with a chair leg or something, just to correct history.
Well, do you know what? I think, Chris, you mentioned when she nearly falls down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if, I can't remember if Spock says it, but I immediately thought Spock, he should have been like, why did you catch her? That was your opportunity.
Oh, it's either that, or as Kirk catches her from falling down the stairs, Spock goes, oh, for f***'s sake, walks back up and pushes her down.
There weren't that many stairs. There weren't that many. She would have maybe twisted an ankle.
Yeah, but you only got to fall in the wrong angle, and you can die, you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on. Can I just say, I think a really cool T-shirt would be just Edith Keeler must die.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there.
There must well be.
So Kirk showing vulnerability. The death scene happened really quickly. Like, you knew it was coming. I forgot how quick it all happened in the end, because you've got McCoy coming out, and then all of them jumping with joy, and then her walking into the road and like, and Kirk stops McCoy saving her, which obviously McCoy doesn't understand at the time, and Kirk is really upset. I can't talk, so Spock has to say he knew what he was doing. Has anybody got oh my's out of this? Are people aware of Gene Roddenberry and the writer was Harlan Ellison? Are people aware of the food they had because of this?
No.
The food?
Yes.
The food, like the fight.
Food.
Not food. They're not having like cooked dinner.
It was rewritten. He wasn't happy.
Yeah. It was rewritten so many times, but Harlan Ellison came into it as an already like very famous sci-fi writer. Which Gene Roddenberry did try to get as writers on board. So he wrote the script, took it to Gene Roddenberry, and obviously Gene Roddenberry said, well, we can't make that, because to be fair, Harlan Ellison gets a lot of the credit from this feud, because he reckons, what are you looking at? What?
I think Rachel's fallen asleep.
No, I'm not.
You're talking too much already, Rachel.
He's back now, man.
What?
Wakey.
3 other people rewrote it. DC Fontana is actually known to be the reason why we see what we see on TV, but she didn't get the credit for it. Harlan Ellison then entered his own original script to the Academy and he actually won the Writers Guild Award for it. But also the episode script won the Hugo Award. And so Ellison has come out to say, well, even though they butchered my script, the story was so good that it still wins awards.
Oh, my.
And he was quite proud of himself. This was the most expensive episode ever made of the original series.
Oh, my.
Outside the 2 pilots. There's only 2 lines out of his original teleplay that made it through to the episode. 2 lines.
Oh, my.
The original script, McCoy wasn't supposed to be in the episode. And it was quite dark because they had this crewman called Beckwith, who was actually a drug dealer, and he was dealing drugs. Is that it? Yeah. I got that somewhere on the shelf.
Richard.
He's dealing drugs. He deals drugs to another crewman who's going to dob him in, so he murders him, and then goes crazy, goes off the ship, and he's the one that goes through the Guardian of the Galaxy.
It's really, really trippy. It's really trippy.
Yeah.
Some really weird bits in it.
And like I mentioned earlier, the final line where Kirk says, let's get the hell out of here. The studio, honestly, they had to go back and forth on that for a long, long time because the studio was totally against having the word hell used like that.
Oh, my.
If I do this, does it mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah. Everybody. Well, you can stop because nobody appeared in edition.
Oh.
Hey, Sally.
Hey, Sally.
Nice to see you.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, all of you.
You doing
Sorry,
okay?
I can't. Yeah, doing great. Can't talk, but I'm listening. All right.
All right.
Yeah, no
okay.
worries. That's
All
fine.
right.
Okay.
That's
Take
all
care.
right.
Bye.
Rush does enough
I'm listening.
talking for everybody else.
Bye.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Oh, brush. I'm still wearing it with 3-day pass.
That's disgusting, man.
It's not. It's plastic. It's not. It doesn't smell or anything like that.
Bathe, for the love of
Oh
God,
my
just bathe.
God,
Oh.
it still has it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the invention of COVID-20.
One of my episodes that I go back to, and I'm going to have to actually look it up because that's how much I go back to it. I've got to look it up.
Or just tell us about it and we'll guess.
Yeah, Brush wants to guess.
Okay, all right, we can do this. So it's DS9 one. It's definitely early doors on when it started, and it's one where you've got Jake, Cisco, and O'Brien, and they're stuck in the process refinery.
Was checked out.
So you got
Civil
Jake.
defence.
It could be.
Could. You can remove the word could.
Is that the one where the alarm goes off because the Bajorans revolt?
Yeah, Ducat
It
is
was-
That's
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Warning,
yeah.
Bajoran
Yeah.
Yes, really good episode. Yeah,
I absolutely
Civil
love that
defence. Does
episode.
somebody
Love
check?
it.
yeah, I like that one. Good one.
What's it called?
I'm saying civil defence.
Okay, Civil Defence, Deep Space Nine. What talking points? We've done top 3 and worst 3 characters.
Okay,
Seeing as
so
we've done top 3 and top worst characters, what about ships?
Yes.
oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
They enjoy it. And they're going to go back and watch the others, aren't they? Hey,
He's
welcome
gone.
to Shuttlebay 4.
Is he into Star Trek?
No,
No.
but they're both named after. So William Shatner, and he's Zachary after Zachary Quinto.
Yeah.
Got the Kirk and Spock.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. At least one of them's named after a Star Trek actor. I'm only joking. The Abrams stuff is all right if you're into that. Oh, can I ask a massive favour while we're all on? There's a guy that you have probably all met. I know you have, Emma, 'cause I'm sure I've got a photograph of you with him, who works in the same office as me. Dave is called, although I call him Nibbler, and he watches these at work. When it's quiet, he'll stick them on in the background, and he says he really enjoys them. He says it feels like it brings back, the Destination Star Trek experience. I just thought it'd be nice to say hello to him because I know he will be watching this episode. And here we go. Hello, Dave. Hey up, Nibbler.
Hey, Nibbler.
I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Join us one time.
He'll be sat in the office chuckling to this. He'll go, oh, oh, oh. And if I'm in the office at the same time, I'm only there Mondays and Tuesdays. He'll turn around and go. All right, I think we're done then, aren't we now? We've got stuff to talk about next week. We've been here for very nearly 2 hours. I'm sure we've got some gold in there somewhere. Right, let's end it there then. We've got 9 o'clock. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you all.
Let's go out with some Roadrunner music.
Yeah, go on then.
They took a
Quit off of that.
I just what Chris said. It's true. Imagine if at the end of the episode they're like waiting to like jump back, it doesn't happen, and the Guardian says to them, "No, she was meant to live." And they're like, "Oh no!"
Then you see McCoy run across the road trying to give a mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
Let's get the out of here.